Yeah, you do Facebook and all that yet? Huh? You wanna pause it?
No, we're all good. I had no idea what you were saying.
That's all I have to. I ain't do Facebook up yet. You know how to find it? Oh,
Yeah, I got it.
it's in there. And then there's a chat on here. Actually, you might do Facebook on here, man. Here you go.
Okay. I'm gonna do Twitter real quick.
Okay. Went to the restroom real quick. Let me see, add another minute on there. Can't do it, huh? 50 seconds left.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We sure that phone's on silent. I'm not sure if it's on silent or not.
We good? When you hear that beat, yo, how we doing on sound? That sound good? It's not as loud in my headphones as it should be, I don't think, but there it is. There we go. There we go. Good morning. We made it, yo. Episode 15, Emos to Witness, the F.I.L.L show, F.I.L.L. Fuck I Look Like. We're back live. Wave 1 Media every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can catch me here live 10 to 11 a.m. Spin that new hot political perspective, trying to give it to you raw, give it to you real, abundantly. So good morning out there. We made it. Emos to Witness, y'all. We're live here January the 13th. Malik, let's get down that video. Let's get into it. Let's get into the news today. As you know, again, like I said, I have Emos to Witness. I'm your host here at the F.I.L.L show, episode 15. We're here live. Let's get some background music too. Here to get the news from my perspective. You know, like I said, this episode 15, I came out here, started this show because I was tired of the rhetoric. I was tired of the disdain. I was tired of the political jargon back and forth, the political wrestling, just the corruption overall. And it seemed like the silent majority hasn't been able to voice their opinions about what's been going on the last 4 years. We've kind of been sitting back and watching a lot of poor policy, a lot of just everything just being thrown out the window just for the sake of power. So I came out here and said, Emos to Witness, let's start a show. Let's get a new perspective out here into the political diaspora, and let's add voices, new voices to society that can that can fight back against a system that is just growing ever powerful as the days go by. I know what you witnessed last week was horrific. I know there's a lot of chastisement about what's been going on with the storming of the Capitol, and we'll get into that. We'll get into the stimulus. We'll get into COVID. We'll get into a lot of the current events of the day. But what's important is that the beginning of this show, and I want you to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Parler. Whenever you get back, Parler, we miss you. We get into a lot of big tech censorship. That's been on my mind a lot lately. Has been the actions and the behaviors of big tech, just all over social media. Just the behavior in general, and on top of politicians, you're looking at a 3-tiered attack, from media, from politicians, from big tech, collectively to wrestle power from the American people. You think that it's all about the leadership, about President Trump and about the election? Sometimes you gotta take a step back and look at the big picture, and actually, what are you gaining and what are you losing? And we're gonna get into all that today on the Emos Witness the F.I.L.L show. F.I.L.L, the fuck I look like, America. It's time for all of us to pick up our heads and say, what the fuck are we looking at? And what the fuck do I look like? Aren't you tired of hearing the same old rhetoric? The bait and switch? Politicians promising you one thing and doing another? But it's more serious now. It's even more. This is an ever-ending war. These are battles that I myself have to try to get you to see, to get you to understand that, when someone offers you a $2,000 stimulus, when someone offers you all these gifts and all these promises, and they're empty at the end of the day, or there's some kind of political gamesmanship involved, where actually that's not really what's important. Maybe there's another agenda in a bill that's being passed that affects you, but you don't need to know about it, right? We're being censored. We're being led astray. We're being deceived. We're being pitted against one another, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff is designed for us to battle each other. We've been at each other's necks for years now as Americans over these political issues. Who's pitting us against each other? Emos the Witness, hit that like, subscribe button. Catch me on Wave One Media every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Like me on Twitter, Instagram, Parler. Website coming soon, emoswitness.com. Please see me on that live chat. Let me know what you think about what's been going on today in society. What's been going on with the storming of the Capitol? Do you think the American people who stormed the Capitol are anti-American? Do you think they're patriots? Do you think President Trump should be impeached? Do you think it's political payback? I mean, damn, it's like 7 days out before the inauguration. Is it a ploy to silence him? Does he have more tricks up his sleeve? Is he still fighting this election? Does he have a trump card he wants to use? I told you January's gonna be very exciting, a very exciting month. I don't know what the rest of the year is gonna bring, but I know that we have until January 20th, and we still got some more fireworks to see. I mean, I think that, has Trump given up? Is he ready to bow down? Can we look and move towards unity and peace? Come together as Americans? Is this the time? Or will Democrats seek retaliation, retribution? Will they take this time, this opportunity to secure power? This is a good time to do it, right? There's no time. I mean, no. It's a great opportunity right now. We have right now. I can't even really look. When I look at the mainstream media, when I watch the news, right now it's a chastisement. There's a belittling. There's a spanking. There's a verbal abuse going on against the American public about what happened last week. And I don't condone any of the deaths, any of the violence, any of that. I don't condone any of that what happened last week. But you got to put a measuring stick behind that. You got to put it in a manner and look at it from perspective from every point of view. And one point of view is that of 74 million Americans who support Trump, or who support American values and want to protest against that. And again, I ask that question: what does a patriotic protest look like? Because right now it's being defined in the media in certain ways, where now that the media controls the narrative, who can protest and not or not. And if you protest a certain way, you're gonna get chastised for it. Right now, every day I look at the media, every night I look at the news, and American people are being berated about the events of last week, and we're missing the point of the American people's values and principles and policies and inquiries that we seek are being ignored by our political leaders. And they want answers. Was it this heavy? Was it rhetoric so this heavy last summer? We had Antifa and BLM out there protesting and fiery protests that were quote unquote peaceful, killing of cops, killing of people that didn't agree with them, burning and looting in all these cities. I mean, to me, I equate them both to be the same. But what's the difference? It's the political rhetoric, right? It's the way that the message is displayed in the media. Right now it's tough out here in America. The battle of wits and minds and the hearts of American people are at stake. And we as mainstream or alternative media have to have responsibility to get out here and speak the truth to power and speak on ideals and concepts that are being trampled upon. And one is big tech, and one is censorship. And right now you're seeing a power grab. Let's get into some of these articles and let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me get into, I want to stay on the election, stay on politics, and what's going on this Monday morning. And as you see, like I mentioned, you got politicians picking sides. You got politicians lining up and showing their true colors. And I want to dig into the Republican side aspect for a moment and talk about Mitch McConnell. And this article here in Axios this morning says, McConnell leans towards convicting Trump. So let's get into this a little bit. Now, the 50-50. Now, this article to me is and what we've been seeing the last couple of days is pure PR, public relations from Congress and from the media. No, Trump. There's no conviction for he didn't incite the riots. Okay, as a matter of fact, the rhetoric that they're using, he actually used the word peaceful in what they're claiming he actually sparked. You see no charges being brought upon by any local judges in Washington from the events of last week against Trump. And this scoop article by Axios is actually a PR stunt. 50-50 chance that McConnell, and he might, but there's no legal charges really being brought. This is more of a PR stunt to really dismantle and continue to destroy President Trump. And actually, it could actually backfire on Republicans. I mean, the establishment Republicans, as you show, they're showing their sides to Mitt Romney, the Ben Sasses, and of course Mitch McConnell. And these are savages, man. These are political savages. War is politics is a dirty game. It's war. It's war, and it's and what you witness here, in my opinion, you're watching 4 years of a successful presidency as far as policy implementation, where Republicans have taken advantage of that success along with the popularity of President Trump. And then when it comes to a point where power is shifted, you're seeing them go back to their establishment ways. And so Republicans have a problem at hand. They have a wrestlement of the ideals. They also got to keep the populist agenda of Trump going in order to keep the base motivated. So what do you do with the young Republicans who support Trump? What do you do with the establishment Republicans and never Trumpers? What do you do about those people? And I think the 2022 election season, the midterms, will decide that. And we'll see soon. Right now, we have a split in divisions going on in the Republican Party. You got, let's read a little bit of this article, Axios. So you got, here are Republicans who will vote to impeach Trump. Republican Fred Upton on Tuesday, who became the fourth Republican lawmaker to publicly announce their support for impeaching President Trump, hours after GOP conference chair Liz Cheney said she would do so. So, why does it matter? House Democrats introduced an article of impeachment that accuses Trump of inciting insurrection against the U.S. government. after a mob of his supporters breached the U.S. Capitol. The House will vote on Wednesday for impeachment. Now, this is after Vice President Mike Pence decided not to vote or not to go along with the 25th Amendment. He went against that implementation, and so now they're seeking impeachment. And you see Republicans taking sides and holding claims of agreeing with the insurrection claim against Trump. So you see people picking sides, and then you see Republicans attacking themselves. Here's another article from The Hill where Senator Hawley and Ted Cruz face rising anger and possible censure. This is from thehill.com. Senator Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz are facing a possible vote on a censure resolution in the Senate as Democrats and some Republicans blame them for the mob that attacked the Capitol last week. Several Democrat senators have called on Hawley and Cruz to resign, and Senators Sheldon Whitehouse and Sherrod Brown have called them to be expelled if they don't step down voluntarily. See, it's getting tricky, you guys. And all this is political gamesmanship. You imagine, if this does go through, then you have two more senators that are out of the Senate. It's all about political power, for they can change policy and procedures, they can tighten the reins, tighten control. And then, what is it saying? The outrage is so heavy that, again, you're missing what's being taken away. Your right to free speech. Excuse me. 1 second. Nigga, that sting in your throat. Boy, you try to fight through the sting in your throat and you just can't. Why fight it? It don't get worse. That sting in your throat. Shit, that motherfucker like a damn, I got a hornet in that mouth. Anyway. So what you're seeing your future, your freedom's being stripped away by these issues that we're seeing every single day. They're getting heavier by the minute. So you see all these, you see your freedom's getting stripped. You see, you see big tech, taking away your freedoms. You see that these policies that are being in place, these new procedures, these House executive rules being changed in order to implement policies that are going to affect you long term. They want to get rid of your guns. They want you to fight one another. They want to pit each other against each other over leadership, over various social issues, hot button issues, and we can't let that happen. That's the big picture I want to give on the Emos Witness Show. Okay, so hit that subscribe button, like me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You catch me downtown at 120 East Market Street, Wave 1 Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 10 to 11 a.m. We get down to the midst, dig deep into these issues and see what's really going on, what they're really telling us, what's really being asked of us, and what they're trying to, and what's being pushed upon us. So let's dig into it. Let's go into these articles. You see, like I said, you see people digging, you see politicians taking sides, and you already see the Democrats gonna be on attack. And what has happened over the last week, and whoever, see, the protest at the Capitol last week was a political mistake on Donald Trump. Donald Trump has now been silenced for at least a year. This is so heavy, and this is an event that, storming the Capitol, it shouldn't have happened. I don't condone it, but you need to have a protest against what's going on in the country regarding election fraud and regarding various issues that are being ignored. And like I said, one day they will be addressed. It might be during a Biden presidency. Who knows? But they're rewriting history as we speak, and now President Trump is silenced because we had this storming the Capitol, and there's so much disdain and animosity towards what happened that he cannot politically voice his views anymore, because it does appear as if he did incite it. It does appear as if it's his protesters that led this attack. But you left yourself open for it. All summer long, Antifa, Black Lives Matter have had protesters come in from city to city, engaging in back and forth with Trump protesters. And so that's going to happen here. And then when you tell them to march peacefully, the media is going to twist your words up, and you're going to get blamed for it. You and your people, anybody who speaks up for it, anybody even utters a peaceful or a patriotic protest will get shut down. You're attacking them. You're going against a behemoth, and you got to be ready for it. So Trump lost his battle at a very key time, a very, very important moment in time. You know, that was his last, maybe his last hurrah, his last attempt to really get the word out about this election and his claims, and it backfired on him. It backfired badly, and that could have been through some rogue implementation from other groups that may have been down there, but that's irrelevant. You didn't control the narrative enough, and you did a good job in 4 years battling back, but I think that was just a battle that was lost, and Trump has to get ready for the next battle. This is a war. These, like I said, politics is a dirty game, and it's going to keep going into the hands of time until, I don't know, I guess a new system comes along. But right now, this system right now is a cutthroat game, and Trump has to go back into the drawing board. It's interesting what we're going to see, you know, in the days and like this week coming up leading to the inauguration. Will Trump be there? Will it be a peaceful, united front? Let's continue with some of these articles. So, again, big tech has been heavy on my mind lately, and I'm just, you know, I have to address it on every show. I don't know how long we'll be able to address it, but big tech is on a tear. They know that it's a great time for them to do so. Here per Newsmax is YouTube suspends Trump channel after violating policy on inciting violence. So now YouTube is the latest of just a mass group of big tech companies that have shut down his voice, and YouTube is the latest big tech company to do so. So YouTube has suspended President Donald Trump's channel, accusing it of violating policies by inciting violence related to last week's assault on the U.S. Capitol. The suspension was announced late Tuesday. Online platforms and social media companies are distancing themselves from and taking action against those who encourage or engage in violence in Washington, D.C. So, I mean, just like COVID, they're now using the riots in Washington, D.C. or the storm of the Capitol or the violence of that past weekend as an excuse to take back power or consolidate or consume more power. You see what I mean? Look at that. So, YouTube has now suspended President Trump's channel. Now, I've heard that Reddit has suspended accounts if you even bring up President Trump. You see what happened to Parler, and I'm going to get to that down here actually a little bit more further actually. So Parler has been taken down because I guess their policies on violence they've been too slow to react, or it's not clear enough. So these online platforms like Amazon.com, who it was hosting Parler, has shut them down or suspended them. So now they got to find a new host provider. Apple, iTunes, various apps have suspended the application for Parler to now you can't even download the app. I've checked out Parler. I'm a member of Parler, as you know. I checked them out. I can't get into my account right now. So it's like you're seeing a suppression of speech. I mean, whatever you believe, whatever your values are, that's up for big tech to decide. They're going to let you know if. But I mean, like I said, people come about and say, well, you know what? Google, Twitter, Facebook, they're private companies. They can do what they want to do. So if you don't want to voice your opinion, you want to voice your opinion, go somewhere else. I understand that point. I get that point. But listen here, that's besides the point. When a company becomes too large, where they trample on, you know, your constitutional rights, when they're too big to fail, you know, when they could sway elections, public opinions in a just a drop of a dime, when they could just shut you out and let one voice be that voice for the whole country, is wrong. And that's what Section 320 was all about. That's what that law was all about. That we couldn't get passed or couldn't get repealed when Trump tried. So big tech is growing ever more powerful. And I understand if you're a private company, you can do what you want to do, but when you become so big that you affect the world or a country in massive ways, where you drown out their voice, you drown out their right to vote, or how impactful that right is, then we have a problem. It needs to be addressed. Then when there's no competition, when there's no alternative, so you're seeing the deception right before your eyes. You're seeing under the guise of protest violence, we're shutting down all these naysayers, all these, wow, I mean, they call them terrorists. They call their own people. I don't think you can use that word on social media anymore. But so while under that guise, they are slowly taking power. And we're like, we're okay with that. We're walking around like we're okay with that because we're looking at it like, okay, well, they shut down the president. They should do that. But they're shutting you down too. And if Parler was an alternative, was a competitor to Twitter and Facebook and the likes, and they shut them down as they're doing right now, they're playing the Supreme Court role. They're playing judge, executioner, jury. What's that gonna behold for the future? Another alternative media source that wants to speak out. That's opposite of Twitter and Facebook. Will they be able to do so? Will Amazon come back and not host them? Who will host them? Everybody's scared to speak out and take the right sides of things. So we're looking for that brave judge, that brave tech company, all these brave individuals to come out here and to speak your voice. Get your own show. Come out here. Wave One Media, 120 East Market Street. Emos the witness. I did it. It's not easy. Episode 15, The F.I.L.L Show. Fuck I look like. Hit that like and subscribe button, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I aim to bring you a hot political perspective, a different angle, a different point of view. We're all witnesses. Let me be your guide. I aim to be objective and impartial. I also aim to speak clearly one day. But eventually, this show is going to be, a hot trend. We have to have alternative voice against and push back against all this power grab, all these behemoths, all these Goliaths. We need some Davids. So get up off your asses, y'all. Speak your mind, speak your voice. That silent majority, them Ben Franklin's. You gotta control some sort of the narrative. Like I said, I get on tangents. I can dig into these articles. We can dig into stimulus and COVID. We will get into those things, these topics eventually, because I want to make sure I provide you a lot of perspectives, a lot of different angles, a lot of different information. But politics is the name of the game on this show. We got to make sure we hold our leaders accountable. So when we go through these articles, we're talking about what's going on from the movers and shakers standpoint. From the movers and shakers, those who push policy. When we talk about conspiracies, when we talk about various topics, and we say the words like, "Oh, they know what they're doing." Well, who is they? For me, they are the politicians and the people that back them. Whether Pelosi, Schumer, Trump, Ben Sass, McCarthy, McConnell, Romney. That's who I'm talking about. Leaders who push policy on a local, federal, national level, and those who back them on a worldly or local, national stage. Power backers. They is just that for short, okay? So there are people there is a focus group you can look at and point the finger at. That goes for editorials and politicians. Editors and journalists, and investigative reporters, and Hollywood, and leaderships in sports and media. All those people. Those are they. That's who we're talking about. Everybody who wants to sway your opinion, wants to push you around and pit each other against one another. Those are people who I'm saying when I'm saying they, the powers that be. The Bill Gates. This motherfucker bakes computers but telling you about medicine. Ain't that some shit? Motherfucker made you a iPod. And he telling you to take a vaccine. You're like, where the fuck your medical degree at, player? Who are you? See, we don't think about those things because who he is. So we're gonna embrace that, whatever he tells us. See how easy we are influenced? And I'm here to bring you that alternative sway. Emos the witness, sway it back. Think from this perspective. I'm trying to get you to change the way you think and think for yourself, be objective. Not only that, I'm trying to shake the silent majority a little bit. Wake up, get off your couch. I know you don't like what you're hearing. I know you want to say what you want to say, but you got friends and family that drown you out over their maybe populist opinion. Just over talkative ass. Very expressive, aren't they? Just be running their mouth at the dinner table. You be just quiet, don't you? Introverted, but you chilling. You got an opinion. But you got asshole Samantha next to you just running her fucking mouth about liberal policies. And you can't say shit. Because you don't want to hear her mouth, right? That's what it's all about, really. I ain't got time for that shit. So, bring all your stress over here to Emos. 120 East Market Street. Wave 1 Media. While we still can. While we still can have a voice. While we still can talk about things, right? Openly. So I got this mask on because I don't know if I still can't talk like this openly. So we talk about a little politics and just kind of end on big tech rather, kind of close this little topic up. I really had it was really nice to see this sobering article from S&P Global saying, amid the chaos in Washington, analysts hazy on social media's long-term future. So this article speaks about Twitter and Facebook and how they took an L the last couple of weeks. I believe, if I have my information correctly, let me double check. I believe Twitter's on a 5-day negative slope in the market since the banning of Trump last week. Hold on one second here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Yeah, so they're down $5 billion in market share. The earnings are down due to a poor business model. I mean, everything you have is invested in Trump. Trump is Twitter. When Trump goes away, I don't know. But this article does speak on that. Like I said, $5 billion in market value lost, 5 straight negative days in the market for Twitter. Reading this article here, just kind of gazing through some of the key points that I actually caught my attention. It does relate to Parler. Now, regarding Parler, which went offline after Amazon.com stopped hosting it, Bonaparte said that it remains to be seen whether the platform will be able to find another internet host. Regardless of Parler's ultimate fate, however, Silicon Valley's battle with the platform throws another log into the fire over the debate around what can be said and what can't be said online. So you got big tech like attacking other tech companies, but they're effectively drowning out their competition at the same time under the guise of what can be said and what can't be said. And at this point, they're saying you can't talk about violence in D.C. or you can't speak on Trump, or we're gonna shut you down. Or if we think your security policies or your messaging is up to standards. Who allows you to create those standards? Who in the hell do you think you are? You see what I'm saying? And we're letting this shit slide because they have media and they also have Congress in their back pocket or in their corner, on their team, their allies. Big tech, boy. That's your new president of the United States is big tech. I mean, that's like controlling water. When you control the message, when you control what can be said or how it's said or when it's said, or if I can even see it, who knows if people can even see this shit that I'm saying right now? I could be just 3 motherfuckers in a square box room just talking to each other right now. Ain't no messaging going out there if they don't want it. Or want some water? Shit. I hope I can get it. I'd like to know that I can get it. But if I say something, I'd like to know that it will get out to the masses the way that I wanted it to. Not change or influence any kind of way. Are those days over? I'm afraid last week may have been the last of us seeing that. I hate to be all doom and gloom, but that's what the future holds if we don't step up and fight back against these policies. Hopefully we can. I mean, the best way to do it, of course, is legislatively. Get into the leadership. Get involved locally, nationally. Create alternatives, and always push back and question. But I'm saying it's gonna be tough if elections are rigged from the jump. If your vote doesn't have any power or push, if mainstream media censors your voice or voices that think like you. So you gotta stay vigilant. Gotta stay vigilant. So I want to get into this real quick. Now, following the daily January 6 riots in Washington, D.C., social networking site Parler, which touts itself as an ideological alternative to Facebook and Twitter, is fighting to stay alive as the major tech vendors pull support due to what they said was an inadequate response by Parler to posts on its platform and promoted the violence. Meanwhile, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, which all took steps to remove incendiary comments on their platforms, including taking down posts by Donald Trump, and in Twitter's case, permanently banning Trump from its platform, are facing potential political and business headwinds of their own. So by doing so, they're getting some political pushback, some economic pushback. While analysts condemn big tech's actions to clamp down on harmful content from Trump and other users following the January 6 riots, they also cautioned that some of these decisions, particularly regarding diminishing Trump's access, might negatively impact platform usage. Wells Fargo analyst Ben Fitzgerald in a January 12th report lowered his price target on Twitter stock from $43 to $43 from $47, noting that the company's decision to ban Trump, whom Fitzgerald referred to as a unique animated force for activity and engagement on the site, could result in engagement headwinds that will likely persist. Now, some people think it's short term, and some people think it's long term. But President Trump has had a very big impact on social media, as you know, over the years. His voice has probably been the most dominant force on Twitter. If you take that away, what do you have left? Well, Twitter's average monetizable daily active user reached 188 million in the third quarter of 2020, up 29% from 145 million in the same period a year earlier. Same for Facebook. Facebook tallied 182 billion daily active users. In the same period of 2020, is up 12%. So you're still seeing a increase in actual users from both sites, despite the ban. But the ban's pretty fresh. And what does that hold after a post-Trump presidency? Will they still be vibrant? And the question is probably true. They probably will, because there's no competition. They just took out Parler. Where else you gonna go? Everybody's in the same boat. They're all down to censor what they don't like. Now, it's all right. Got a constant battle. So, right now they're using the guise of violence and Trump rhetoric. They're saying that he incited the violence of January 6th, and so therefore they shut him down. But you wonder why they didn't shut down these cats. Let me find this article for you. I must delete it. Actually, Malik, you might have it up there, though. You have the 6. There you go. Here you go. Here are the 6 Democrats calling for violence and physical confrontations on Twitter. I might try to pull up on my let me pull them up on my laptop here. I want to be able to read some of this. Here's some of that hypocrisy that I've been telling you guys about. It's like, what are we going to do about this, man? This will show you how strong the media is, how strong mainstream media is and their power base, and we're just sitting back and taking it. But are we? It remains to be seen if we're going to fight back as Americans over this nonsense. So like I said, here are 6 videos of Democrats calling for violence or physical confrontations that are still active on Twitter. And we all know the most famous one is Miss Maxine Waters. So let's see. Rep. Maxine Waters, Rep. Ted Lieu, Senator Cory Booker, Representative Jacqueline Castro. Oh, I remember what Castro brothers. They were heavy early in 2017, 2016 on disparaging remarks on President Trump. Senator John Tester and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi have all made comments suggesting violence or confrontation against Republicans. All of their Twitter accounts remain active, while the videos themselves are also circulating on a massive social media site. Rep. Maxine Waters, for example, notably called for her supporters to harass Trump administration officials in public during a rally in 2018. Quote, "Let's make sure we show up wherever that we have to show up. And if you see anybody from the cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd and you push back on them and you tell them they're not welcome anymore anywhere," Waters said. So that's one. Waters is far from alone. Rep. Lou, I want to read a couple of what these politicians have said over the past, and it's been just highly ignored. It just shows you the hypocrisy and the one-sidedness and the deceit that's being thrown upon you. And history would tell, hopefully, even though it's being rewritten as we speak, history would show what happened in 2020, what happened in 2021 and early 2021, and where did that leave America at the end of the day? So, Waters is far from alone, with Rep. Lou warning President Trump that same year on MSNBC that there would be widespread civil unrest if President fired Special Counsel Robert Mueller. New Jersey's Booker was also recorded in 2018 urging activists at the National Conference of Ending Homelessness to get up in the face of some Congress people. Before I end, that's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. He said, go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people. These are highly more inflammatory than what Trump posted on January 6th. Again, January 6th, Trump had a quote that said peaceful in it. And they're using that against him, saying he incited violence. There's no charges. Again, like I said, it's all a PR stunt to slowly destroy President Trump off the history books and for the further weakening now a displaced and divided Republican Party. And wow, earlier last year I said there was the Democrats who were not unified with the AOCs and the Pelosi's fighting each other. But man, they're more joined together more than ever. And it's the Republicans that are now splintered. So have we seen a destruction of the Republican Party? I would agree. I would say yes. I do think there's a populist party on the way led by President Trump, but how far would that go? Who knows? The Democrats are good at what they do, man. And with the media on their side and big tech in their corner, with globalists in their corner, like George Soros in their corner, and the likes, they control the narrative now. They control what investigations occur. They wipe away past investigations that are currently in progress. Don't you see? Everything is now anew. And the same corrupt politicians that you witnessed every decade of your lives, those past administration people that you see will be in position again, doing the same thing they've always done. Deceive you, trick you with a $2 gold chain, with a $2,000 stimulus check, all while being corrupt and taking away your freedoms and taking away your power as an American citizen, and also wreaking it hell of money, hell of cash, hell of dough, selling and fleecing America. That's my opinion, y'all. Emos Witness. Hit that like, subscribe button. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Website coming soon. Website Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Way One Media. Catch me downtown, 120 East Market Street. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. We got a lot to push back upon, and we got to hold these politicians accountable, man. And these are all examples of the hypocrisy, the one-sidedness, right here in front of you. So right now we have a leader that we can't even speak his mind. What if those in 74 million Americans also whose voices can't be heard? But that other half of the country, that other 74 million, are y'all cool with this shit? Are you okay that this is happening? Even though your dog or your leader is winning the fight, your dog is winning the fight. You surely can't appreciate the censorship at least. Now we could probably get past the voting, but I think it needs to be looked at for sure. A thorough review of the practices and the policies before and after an election day. But you can't be happy sitting on your asses today with the way we're turning as a country, as a leadership, and the precedents that we're witnessing over the last few weeks and days. I know this is over the top. Come on now, let's move on. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up though. Let's take a quick little small 30-second break, and we're gonna talk about the stimulus for a little bit. Talk about some inauguration news. We'll talk about COVID. Close it on out. Right back, Emos Witness. Okay, I'm back, America. Welcome back to the Emos to Witness to F.I.L.L show. F.I.L.L stands for The Fuck I Look Like, episode 15. Like I said, you catch me down here downtown every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wave 1 Media, 120 East Market Street from 10 to 11 a.m. Like me on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Parler whenever it gets back. Website coming soon, like I mentioned, emostowitness.com. And also, if you feel like you want to give me your opinion, send me on that live chat, or hit me on my contact us page at emostowitness@gmail.com. Like I said, we'll have a new show, new political perspective, bring you angles from different analysis and different news concepts that you probably don't see live on mainstream. Push back against those who, speak truth to power, and I aim to be your witness and your guide through all that. So again, as an impartial, objective referee, I want you to walk and guide with me and be a witness to the current events and what's going on in society. So hit that like button, subscribe, YouTube, Emos to Witness to F.I.L.L show. We're growing together. It's a new show. It's only 15 episodes in. So we're working through all the kinks and all the tricks. So imagine us in the future. Imagine this summer, you guys. Let's grow and be that force that we can speak against some of these policies and some of these this rhetoric that we see out here on the news. It's so heavy. It's like parents pushing at teenagers, just talking that shit. Tell us what we want to hear, what we want to see, what we want to how to think. Let's open up and let's think for ourselves. I know you have a voice that you want to be heard. Okay? I'm not aiming to sway you any kind of way. If I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong, and I'll tell you. I'll be open about it. But yeah, as we get ready to wrap the show out, I got about another 10, 15 minutes. I want to dive into a couple other little topics concerning politics, as well as get into a little stimulus and a little bit of COVID news and updates on those things. But I found out a few things interesting. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I'm hoping for a peaceful transition. I want to see unity in America. I want to see both sides come together. We had a long 2020, y'all. We had a long, crazy, and we're still dealing with a lot of issues from this past year. We can't even look at things like that on a year-to-year basis. Let's just say 2021, 2020 is all the same. Let's just say when people ask you going forward, hey, I'm just going through some shit right now. Okay? It's not 2021 is gonna be a lot better now that we're done with 2020. No, we don't know when this shit's gonna end. When people ask you, hey, how's your year going? It ain't about a year. It's, hey, I'm just going through some shit right now. Okay, I got COVID. I got some financial shit going on. Stimulus going on. We got voter issues going on. We don't even know what's going on in the world anymore because we're so busy going on what's going on in America. We're drowned out. But hopefully we get unity, you guys. And who knows? Because per this article here from Newsmax, active Attorney General Rosen warns against violence around Biden inauguration. The Justice Department issued a video warning against violence in the days leading up to and during the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden, including riots trying to occupy government buildings. So there's a warning. We will have no tolerance whatsoever for any attempt to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power on January 20th that our Constitution calls for, Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen said in a video statement released on Wednesday. Now, it's the first time the nation's top law enforcement officer has spoken out on camera since January 6th. We will have no tolerance for any attempts to forcibly occupy government buildings. There will be no excuse for violence, vandalism, or any form of lawlessness. So, that's good. That's Attorney General Rosen getting ahead of it this time, right? Because the expectations of January 6th was a peaceful protest. But it ended up turning violent, ended up being a storm. And then the narrative was controlled by the media, pushing up against President Trump, who now has no political voice. He can't say anything. We don't know how long, weeks, months, years. That's how damaging January 6th was. It totally backfired. It was a miscalculation on President Trump. And whoever maneuvered that on the opposite side was a genius. You know? It's true. It really is. He really was. He or she. Because now you have a president that's totally silenced. You have a media and a big tech that's pouncing right now. You got media on one side telling you what a protest looks like and defining what a protest can be. Why, while giving the American people a lecture, right? Continue a lecture And like I said, I don't condone any of the violence, and my heart goes out to those who were killed on January 6th protesting their rights and their freedoms. And then, of course, now you have big tech as well taking this time, this opportunity to suppress their competition and utilize their censorship ways and their censorship tactics. And we're letting it all go by as American people. We're letting it all slide. Because right now we feel like we're on punishment, right? We feel like we're those kids in up in our room. No Nintendo, nothing, no video games. You guys are bad. Shame on you trying to protest your rights at a government building. Shame on you. Go to bed. We're letting all this shit slide. It's all sliding. We're losing our rights, you guys. Under the guise of PC. So right now, we got the Attorney General kind of getting ahead of it now, saying, hey, we're not going to tolerate any violence of any kind, which we shouldn't. And we just, like I said, we don't know what January 20th is going to bring. Hopefully it'll bring a peaceful, united front display. Maybe hopefully the president will be there. I did read an article that Biden is talking to Trump, so that's positive there. And that's what's important is that we come together as a country, but at the same time, we have to address the past and we have to address anything going forward. I'm telling you, these issues cannot go unaddressed, but we can't do it. We can't do it separated or divided, because that's what they want. They want to see the civil war between the American public. They want to take away our rights and our freedoms, and and one is our weapons, our guns. I believe all that. I really do. You know why? Because there's policies and speeches that protest to that fact. It's not a conspiracy when you try to implement and pass laws. That's the case. So I'm looking for leadership, man, that has my policies, my principles, and in their hearts and their minds, and I'm voting for you. So right now, though, we don't know if it's going to be united on the 20th or it's going to be division, and it all depends on what our leadership does. So as you see that Attorney General has pushed out that message, let us know, hey, you can protest, but don't storm any buildings. There's an article from Yahoo saying that Trump is angry at Ivanka and Jared Kushner after he spoke about going to Biden's inauguration. After she spoke about going to Biden's inauguration. So read a little bit of this, just kind of see where their head's at. President Trump is angry at Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner over her plans to go to President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Trump said he isn't going to the inauguration, and an almost unprecedented break with U.S. Democratic tradition. But the Daily Mail reported that Ivanka planned to attend, sparked by concerns for her reputation. Insiders Tom LeBanchio and Darren Samuelson were told by a source that the family rift is real. They reported that Trump has few people to talk to, bar his own adult sons, after many former allies abandoned him after the attack on the Capitol. So Trump is like, hey man, family's even abandoned him, right? He's all alone. So I said, this is a battle. He needs to go ahead and get that Pinterest account open back up again. Get that slow tomato sauce recipe and just take his time and plan his next move. Because he has a lot of power in his hands as well, right? He has 74 million Americans who voted for him, and maybe more. They all have, an issue with the current incoming administration. He has some young Republicans in his corner. So we'll see what he does, We'll see if he creates a media company of his own and attacks Twitter and Facebook and the likes, as another attack. It's gonna be very interesting to see what a civilian Trump looks like. Does he go quiet? Does he come pop back out like Han Solo with a beard? 5 years later. But right now we have a future to look at regarding President Biden, and we have to see what that future holds. So we have to stay vigilant and watch what he wants to do for America. So speaking of vigilant, let's talk about COVID. Let's get into a little bit of COVID news. And we as American people, are we staying vigilant? Are we gonna put the latest stats here as of yesterday? We have 574,000 cases of COVID in Indiana. That's an increase of 3,150 from yesterday. 9,104 deaths, an increase of 88 deaths in Indiana as of yesterday. As a country, Still, we are United States, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Lost my place here. I'll tell you what, we'll go to this article right here, though. From CNN, the U.S. has suffered its worst day ever for COVID-19 deaths.
Monkey.
So it says here that the U.S. reported its highest daily number of COVID-19 deaths on Tuesday, with more than 4,320 fatalities attributed to the virus. It marked the second time both this month and since the pandemic started that the United States reported more than 4,000 COVID deaths in a single day. Over the past week, the United States has averaged more than 3,300 deaths every day, a jump from more than 217% from mid-November. Man, it's pretty sobering information, you guys. Like I said, the numbers keep increasing. We have vaccines out there. We have Johnson & Johnson Canada vaccine, like I mentioned last week. There's been slow distribution to roll out. There's been states that have been having vaccines sitting in the refrigerator expiring or not at the right temperature. A lot of bungling. I don't understand. There's so much mishap regarding this pandemic over the year. And there's so much shit going on that it's hard to kind of like really keep track. But when you look at China, they're open. There are people walking up and down the streets doing their thing. I'm sure there's precautions still being implemented, but they're open. And we're seeing an increase in numbers every day. We see the NBA tightening their restrictions now. Their players can't leave their hotel rooms on away games. They can't have visitors. And a couple players have been speaking out about that, including NBA player Oklahoma City guard George Hill, local Indiana native, and a couple other players have spoken out about their freedoms and being trampled upon. And how can you play basketball for 48 minutes, sweating up against somebody, and then you turn around, you can't speak to them after the game. But just like there's a lot of implementation protocols that just don't make sense, and people and players and athletes are getting frustrated because they know that they're being treated like property, and it's all about the money. It's all about viewership and about making money, right? So it makes you wonder, where's America's priorities? Are you for healing the American people? Are you for solving this problem effectively as priority number one, or are you about making that money and competing? Capitalism. Well, if that's the case, why not just open up fully? Bars, restaurants, everything, stadiums, and we stay vigilant and deal with it, because the numbers keep rising. Our current guidelines and protocols obviously are not working. Our therapeutics and our vaccinations are slow to progress, and the impact that they're having as far as herd mentality is not being realized. So I pondered the notion, why not we just open all the way up, protect those who are most susceptible, whatever. So I said it. The elderly, people who are overweight and, can be really affected from this virus. So why don't we just, kind of put a barrier around them and also stay vigilant, but open up?
Monkey.
Because the numbers haven't changed. They keep rising. We keep working on solutions. We keep working on various ways to combat this virus. But I felt we'd be a little bit arrogant too, and not listen to other countries and not getting their expertise as well. That's a problem with America. We want to be number one in everything. We want to be the first to the vaccine, the first to the moon. But this as a planet, we all can help each other and assist to get out of this nonsense. This jumps borders. It's not prone to just one border. So if China's running around doing their thing, why can't we? As well as other countries. I know that we're all fighting this thing together, but we have to come together, you guys. We have to get around this. And if our hearts are in the right place, if we're doing these things for reasons other than getting America back strong again and healthy again and safe again. As far as this virus is concerned, then we're just lost as a country, and it's imperative. It's indicative of what we've been seeing over the past 4 years. We're doing things for all the wrong reasons. We're having investigations and power grabs for all the wrong reasons. So who's it on corner? Emos the Witness is here to help you guide and find that out. Hit that like, subscribe button, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Keep track of everything that's coming down the pipeline. Wave 1 Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m., you guys. I'm Emos the Witness. I want to touch down on one more topic, which is the stimulus. There's some things I skipped today. I want to talk about James Comey. He's been saying a few things about President Trump as far as investigations go. And we'll get to that one day. We'll leave that alone for now, but can't find my stimulus article. Yeah, there's an article I noticed here about countries hurting. See, this little small article here from USA Today saying hurting long before COVID-19. Failing companies took stimulus money, then closed anyway. Steinmart, I actually like that store, was desperate for shoppers long before COVID-19 forced closures at its discount department stores, scattered mostly throughout the Southeast. During the past several years, the Florida retailer had hemorrhaged tens of millions of dollars while searching for a corporate buyer. Like many struggling businesses, the company in June turned to the federal government's Paycheck Protection Program as a possible savior. The $10 million loan didn't last long. Within 2 months, Steinmart filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, citing more than $500 million in liabilities. The company closed all 280 stores and 9,000 workers lost their jobs. Nothing prevented Steinmart from taking the PPP handout on its way under. Lenders participating in the Small Business Administration relief program shelled out more than $520 billion last year to millions of companies searching for a lifeline to stave off the economic impact of COVID-19. Like Steinmart, USA Today found that some were failing long before the pandemic hit. So that goes to my point about are we really hurting from this COVID-19? Like a lot of these companies were hurting before that, and that this COVID-19, this stimulus was a shot in the arm, was a savior for a lot of companies to last a little bit longer. So in this situation, some of these big companies actually took the money and closed anyway. So it's like, how do we see the results of that fairly in the economic indicators? Like I said, we see the stock market continuing to rise. We see young people investing in the stock market. Do we need the extra stimulus coming down the pipeline? What are we losing as a result for that? What powers? So you ask yourself, do we really need these things? What powers are we relinquishing? How does that affect our numbers economically, our dollar power, our buying power? Are we printing off more money? Are we creating more debt? Those are things we have to look at in depth. Who's pushing this stimulus to the point where we look the other way? So we're gonna dig down and ask these questions. These articles shed light on a lot of these things that I'm talking about. I like to play devil's advocate. I like to play what is really good for us. Is this good for us? Is there a limit? And maybe we reached our limit. We get to a point where you're being taken advantage of, and we got to control the waste. We got to control the waste. Just saying, we got to control the messaging. So I'm Emos the Witness, you guys. Wednesday, January 13th, we're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every time, 10 to 11 a.m. Wave 1 Media, 120 East Market Street. I hope you have a blessed day, a blessed rest of the week. I'll see you on Friday. Hit that like, subscribe button. You guys enjoy your day. I'm out.